Welcome to Wilson, North Carolina this morning. My name is Jeff Childs, and you're watching the U.S. Youth Soccer National League Series on Torbo Sports Network. Today at Field 4 here at Gillette, we'll have a matchup featuring the Laroka South Premier team. They'll be taking on Concorde Fire, players of those teams in birth years 99 and 2000. Well, for Laroka South, their star player this afternoon will be number 12 Taylor Booth. Booth medaled actually at the under-14 boys national team, also the interregional Thanksgiving roster as well. And for Laroka South, they've had strong performances the last couple of years. A two-time U.S. Youth Soccer Utah State champion. Laroka's advanced to the knockout rounds of the last two soccer region championships. And opposing them, the Concorde Fire, coached by Everett Webb out of Atlanta, Georgia. Concorde Fire in the blue division. These both under 16 squads facing off this morning. We're glad you could join us as the teams prepare to meet at midfield. Well, the U.S. Youth Soccer National League games this week are kicking off the 15-16 season, and following today, the winners will continue league play in either Orlando, Florida, or Las Vegas, Nevada. Charles Zigliera kicks things off for Concorde. Concorde playing it back to their defense. Christopher Mendelson back over to his defense partner. Booted to midfield and deflected back by Laroka. Lincoln Augustine chased that one down, a near collision there. Augustine trying to keep it in bounds along the near side, cannot. Concorde Fire will throw it in and put right back out of bounds, so they'll do that one over. The toss in that's headed back to Laroka, and they boot it back over midfield. Chris Schneider played it off his head, tried to keep it in bounds, a sliding play there. And both teams volleying it back and forth, trying to gain control here early. No score between Laroka South out of Highland, Utah, and Concorde Fire out of Atlanta, Georgia. Now Laroka gains possession here. Cristobal Zamorano plays it over to Augustine. Here's Augustine centering that one, and no one home to knock it in. And that header goes out of bounds. Concorde Fire will put this one back into play. Laroka now with a chance, setting up. Here's the corner kick. That one booted in, headed away. No opportunity there for Concorde. Concorde advancing the ball up to midfield. That one will slide out of bounds. That pass intended for Dawson Gideon. Just slipping wide. No score here in Gillette Stadium, field number 4. I'm Jeffrey Childs. Thank you for joining us here this morning. Bit of an early morning on Torbo Sports Network. Players get set for the toss in. Roca South gets that one in. Off the chest of Cristobal Zamorano. Played back to the defense. Nathan Mumford trying to get that one over. Intercepted. Concorde has it now. Trying to get it over midfield. Laroka keeps that ball in, pressuring here. A lot of early pressure. Headed off by Mumford, and another try there just wide. That one over. Here's Augustine. Augustine playing catch with Isaac Edwards. But intercepted. Here's a chance inside the box. And a near collision there. Eric Nunez on the save for Laroka South. Concorde trying to advance it past midfield. Both teams sort of feeling each other out, trying to get an early sense of how this match will go. Here's Augustine on the near side right in front of us, who played along, intercepted and booted right back. Both battle there. Laroka trying to steer this one away to safety, and they do. Here's in the open field, Jared Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking for Asensio. Asensio along the far side, playing it over. He'll boot one in. And there is a save for Concorde. Players battling right in front of us. Charles Zigliera made that play, now back in control of Laroka South. And a sliding kick to keep that one in bounds. Nice play there. This one over by the far line, and they're going to say it was out. Here's a boot along the far side. As Concorde trying to play it deep, they can't. Laroka South plays this one right back, but that one deflected out of bounds and another toss in. Long delay here as Concorde tries to throw it back in, and they do. Off the chest for Laroka player, and then off the head. Austin Monzo with that play. And now here's Laroka with a chance here in the open field. Hounded by defenders, he gets it over, but picked right off and booted right back out. Laroka keeping it in here for Augustine. Augustine the far side. Sliding tackling play, gets it away in bounds, but now in control of his teammates. Henriquez with that play. Now he has the ball. Dribbling over in Laroka, trying to get organized here in the offensive zone. Some contact there, both players colliding. Here's Laroka South. Laroka South, that pass clearly going wide, but the save made by Nunez. Laroka South here still in control, long period of possession. Concorde the sliding kick, they'll get it back into the Laroka end, but right to their goalkeeper. Booted back to midfield, and Laroka back on the offensive here. Trying to get that one to Augustine just a little far, but he's going to try to center this one. Cutting to the outside. There's a shot and a save. Nunez in perfect position to make the save there. Both players colliding in and slipping. Very slippery conditions with the mud out there. Header over by Derek Childs. And back to Laroka. Laroka, quick team on the offensive, and Nunez had to come all the way out to play that one, he does. Booted into the spectators. Nunez having to be active here early with this quick Laroka team. They can move up and down the field very quickly. Austin Monzo to toss this one in. Check, that's Jerry Gonzalez on the toss in. That ball deflected far, far out of bounds, and Gonzalez had to go all the way over to nearly the wooded area to retrieve it. No score here, first half, nearly 10 minutes gone. Laroka South and Concorde Fire, the under-16 division. Both of these teams really earned their right to be here, based usually on success in U.S. Youth Soccer regional and national events. Concorde in the black and gray, Laroka in the red and white. Laroka with a free kick in the entry into the zone. There's Augustine near corner. Centering that one, but it's deflected wide. That pass intended for Pisano Rodriguez. Rodriguez battling with Dawson Gideon for possession over there. Right along the midfield line, and another toss in for Laroka. Long toss in, intercepted and headed away. Here's Concorde Fire. They haven't really been able to get much going on the offensive side of the field thus far. And that pass just too far. Charles Zigliere, the intended recipient there, couldn't bring that one in. Back on the attack is Concorde. Trying to cut inside was Dawson Gideon. That ball taken away from him. Long pass from Roca. They come up with possession. Mendoza with the ball now. Mendoza cutting to the middle of the field. Slide tackle and nice defensive play by Concorde to take that one away. Booted right back in. Nathan Mumford keeping that ball in play, but it does bounce out of bounds, and another toss in. Here's Laroka controlling. Walter Henriquez now. Henriquez gets that one taken away. Back to Gonzalez. Cutting inside, tried to connect on that pass to Zamorano. Zamorano couldn't come up with it. Walter Henriquez, a long shot. Clearly over the goal and no threat there. No score here as we close in on 13 minutes of the first half. Concorde Fire and Laroka South. Laroka South out of Highland, Utah, coached by Ceslo Santos. This is a squad from Utah. In their prior matches, they've shown they can excel in league play. In the Utah State Cup, they went 9-0-0 to finish on top of the Desert Premier Division standings this season. These teams are 2 of the 80 best competing in the National League. And the winning squad in their division getting a berth in Frisco, Texas for the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. Lots at stake here in Wilson, North Carolina this weekend. Zamorano played that one for Laroka, but possession over to Concorde Fire. It's Russell Sheely, the keeper for Concorde. That ball out of bounds, and really the majority so far this half of the strong play clearly going to Laroka South. Concorde having trouble getting that ball and really keeping it out of their own end. Laroka's speed and their overall will to the ball here standing out in the early going. Long boot in by Concorde. Missed the teammate there, tried for the header and deflected back near midfield. Laroka again trying to control it. Nearly intercepted, and Sheely's going to have to come all the way out and boot that one back. And boot that one out of harm's way. Cristobal Zamorano was heading right in on Sheely, and Sheely with the presence of mind to come out and play that one. And both teams battling for it near midfield. Here's Zamorano. Zamorano trying to advance it here, hounded in the middle of the field. Long boot over to Augustine. Augustine cuts inside. He'll shoot just over the goal. And great teamwork there from Laroka South, as number 23 Zamorano really tried to attract the attention of the defense. And that allowed his teammate Lincoln Augustine to get open and cut inside, but that shot just sailed over the crossbar. Concordia's keeper, Russell Sheely, gets the opportunity at the free kick there. Line drive kick, booted to midfield. Concorde keeping in the offensive side, unable to put any pressure on Laroka's defense. Back to midfield, booted away by Tercios Velasquez. Back to Augustine. Augustine very active so far and trying to gain position on his defender. He'll throw that one to the center and score. Lincoln Augustine, an impressive individual effort, cutting inside and just floating that one past Sheely, and he did that one all himself. Accepting the pass along the near side and cutting the inside and kicking that ball just enough force to sneak it inside the far goal post, and a 1-0 lead for Laroka South. They've carried the majority of the play, and right there paid off for them. All that pressure, and the Concorde defense finally yielding one, and it's 1-0 here, Laroka South. High arcing ball floats out of bounds just past us. Andrew Donahue tossing this one in for Laroka South. Donahue trying to use the fancy footwork to get past the defender. Ball goes out of bounds here in Concorde to get a toss in on the Laroka side of the field, trying to get something going, trailing 1-0. The toss in by Blake Cheek. And now a battle along the far side. Nigel Moe has it for Concorde, but out of bounds. And to the Laroka South goaltender, he'll kick this one in, get the free kick. Gets a lot of leg right there, but intercepted by Chris Schneider. Schneider keeps it in for Concorde here. Concorde with a chance and immediately turned away. Here's Laroka trying to advance that one past midfield, but right back to Concorde here. They might have something going. So far, that skill and speed of Laroka stifling any offensive chances for Concorde. Here's a boot from the corner and intercepted and collected there by the goaltender. A lot of contact, Concorde players near the goal area. And that one lands out of bounds. Laroka the chance to, they'll see the inbound to Concorde. Lots of pressure in an event for this magnitude. Surely many scouts watching these players today, but they're playing well for pride, standings in the division, and a chance to advance to Frisco, Texas. There's a long ball. Cristobal Zamorano trying to get in on that play and generate more momentum for Laroka South. Here's Laroka knifed away by Alejandro Valencia. Back to Concorde here. He's met by a host of fire. Chipped away by Sakani Burke. That one out of bounds. Concorde getting the toss in from the corner. Blake Cheek accepting the inbounds. Booted right back to midfield, though. That'll trickle out of bounds. Cheek to toss another one in. Well, 1-0 lead so far for Laroka South. Control the majority of the play here. Concorde, not many opportunities on the offensive side of the field. Isaiah Mendoza, the sliding play, knocking that one out of bounds. And we've seen so far Laroka South carrying the plays we've said, but also defensively just refusing to allow any forward momentum from the Concorde Fire. Another toss in by Concorde, trying to find some teammate, really any teammate, looking for that one player and that who's going to give them that one play to knot this match at 1. Laroka trying to clear this one out, a little disorganized. Intercepted by Cheek. Cheek battling with it. William Carter for Concorde, but Laroka's keeper going to come all the way out and pick that one up. Arcing boot back to midfield. Oh, that one looked like it went off the side of his foot. Here's Dawson Gideon far side. Another ball out of bounds. Every time, really every bounce we've seen, the Concorde Fire, just when they might have something sort of going and either a ball deflected or Laroka right there to meet them and stymie any offensive opportunity. Mark Hansen coming in for Laroka South. Taylor Booth as well. And we spoke about Booth a little off the top of the broadcast. Booth excelling on the under-14 boys national team here in the U.S. Also the ODP interregional Thanksgiving roster. Booth is Laroka's star, but head coach Celso Santos sat him so far for this first half in now for Laroka South Premier. Players tangled up near the corner. Laroka South with the kick right back to Concorde. Laroka South trying to clear this one of harm's way. Here's Concorde with the opportunity. Twisting and dodging near midfield, getting it to the far side. That's Blake Cheek. Blake Cheek trying to cut inside, taken away by Augustine. Hans Meyer here advancing. Back off the chest. Here's Augustine. Far side. He'll kick one that's deflected. Thank you again for joining us on Torbo Sports Network here this morning in Wilson, North Carolina. I'm Jeff Childs, and our broadcast emanating outside here. North Carolina has been unseasonably warm, really leading to a lot of rain in Wilson and Rocky Mount the past 45 days. You look, you can see the field and the mud sort of chewed up and might be tough for the players to gain traction. And it looks like we have an injured Fire player limping off on the Concorde side of midfield. Both teams pause to allow him to exit the playing field. And a nice show of sportsmanship as one of the Laroka South premier players is going to help him off. And favoring, looks like he's favoring the left ankle as he hobbles off here. We head back to action here. Laroka South in control here. And there's the corner boot in over, and that just deflected wide of the far goal post. High boot in on the corner kick. Taken away by Donnell Wortham. Concorde South trying to mount an attack. Blake Cheek going to toss that one in. Tried to feed Wortham. Again, out of bounds. Thrown in. Cheek trying to muscle off the Laroka player, unable to do so. Laroka. There's Taylor Booth down the near sideline. A little too much gusto as that rolls past the marker. Here's Concorde, but they give it right back to Laroka. Two Laroka players barreling in on William Carter, and he had to allow his goaltender to play that perilously close to the goal. Concorde with the long pass looking for Nigel Moe. Nigel Moe had that one knocked away by Laroka. And back the other way we come. Sliding play. Concorde's keeper, Russell Sheely, had to come all the way out and play that, and he'll get the free kick back to midfield. Headed away by Laroka, but back into the possession of Concorde here. Ramon Munoz play that one for Laroka. Right back here. Here's Augustine. Augustine favoring that near side of the field here. Coming in on his defender. Throwing it to the middle, but intercepted. Concorde keeping this one out of harm's way, at least for the moment. Past Samuel Watson. He sort of lost his footing there. Had a chance to play that. And Laroka's keeper calmly plays that one over. Mark Hansen with the pass over to midfield. Here's Isaiah Mendoza. He looked to get something going here for Laroka. Hansen tosses that one into Mendoza. Mendoza near side to Augustine. Here's Augustine handling in the corner. Tight quarters in there, battling for it. Concorde keeping that one in, just towing the line, but it does fall out of bounds. And some play in tight quarters by both teams. Concorde fending off any advance from Laroka. Hansen to throw this one in. He does, and booted right off with the header. Chadwick Pleach on that header and chased again down by the defender Walter Henriquez. Concorde there finding itself in possession again. Heady play inside. Daniel D'Souza gets it over to Cheek. Here's Cheek. He's going to toss this one to the front of the goal off the chest. Intercepted again, but Laroka takes it right away. Donnell Wortham with the opportunity inside, just couldn't separate himself from the Laroka defenders. Another high pass off ahead, but Concorde keeps it in. A shot just knocked away. Looked like it was Eric Olvera on the opportunity for Concorde, just in front, and that was really the best opportunity that Concorde has had all morning near the Laroka goal. This one headed away by the Laroka defense. Both teams along the near side fighting for possession. Concorde comes away with it. Shot inside, and that one knocked away. Donnell Wortham again in on the action there with the chance for the fire. And Concorde, this is a team that had a couple of near misses qualifying for nationals this very event last season. And, of course, they'll take aim at earning another top two finish in the blue division this season. Concorde with that opportunity, that one sails just wide of the net. All of these players in the under 16 age bracket, born in 99 or 2000. Play halted for just a moment as the Laroka keeper gets that one to midfield. And Laroka with another opportunity, that one just wide. Here's Laroka really taking control of this match, doing what they've done all afternoon. Derek Childs back to his keeper, try to get it out. Ball still in play, perilously in front of the Laroka goal. And fended off by Sebastian Van Thiel for Laroka. Hansen knocks that one cross field, trying to find Jair Gonzalez, but Gonzalez watched that one go out of bounds. Laroka again, midfield, trying to find a teammate. Hansen makes the play along the near side and deflected off on a Concorde inbound. Taylor Booth keeping that one in play here for Laroka. Laroka trying to use some nifty play here to keep this ball in possession. Slew of players fighting for possession there along the Concorde defense. Header by Hansen keeps that one in. Sliding tackle attempted by Priest. But again, falling outside the marker. National League, as we said, the top 80 boys teams in the nation getting the prized opportunity to compete today. And the National League is a league that really sets itself apart, both talent-wise and meaningful matches that occur. These teams come from all over. Of course, we mentioned the Concorde Fire coming here all the way from Atlanta today. And then on the other side, Laroka South all the way from Highland, Utah. Laroka's defense try to play that one out of danger, but back here comes Concorde. Nigel Moe with the effort and a sliding tackle. Both players on a trip. It was Derek Childs' trip there, no flag. Laroka getting possession just after the midfield line. Kevin Clare measuring, gets a chance to kick this one in. A long, high kick. Good opportunity here for Laroka, but the header just out of reach. Laroka maintaining possession anyway. Taylor Booth fighting for it. He'll get it over. Here's Laroka. Laroka and unable to get a shot off. Sebastian Van Thiel the opportunity along the near side. Russell Shealy had to come all the way out and cradle that ball, avoiding disaster. Laroka right back on the offensive. This is a team with their speed. They do not let up. And here's a near breakaway opportunity, but Concorde gets back. Ball floats out of bounds right in front of us. Some heady work by Augustin Osenzio. Hansen plays it in, but knocked out of bounds. Concorde, the quick toss in. Off the head of Chair and back out of bounds, and we'll toss that one in and do it all over again. Blake Chica high toss in. Looking for his teammates, but booted right back out of bounds. This is an event, features some of the top talent in soccer. And many alumni of this event have gone on to play in the NCAA College Cup, in the MLS, in the NWSL, and other events. And we're glad to bring the National League Series to you here today on Torbo Sports Group. Asensio trying to keep that one inbounds for Laroka. That one falling out, and here's Hansen to play it in. Hansen, that ball coming right back in front of Chair. William Carter along the far side for Concorde. And you can see with the way that Laroka has played so far this morning, everything in sync, whether the passing, the shooting, heading, work with their feet, their team very much in sync and well coached with their preparation, and it's shown so far in this match. They lead 1-0, closing in on 40 minutes of the first half between this under-16 match between Laroka South in the red and white and Concorde Fire in the gray and black. Along the far side, keeping it in bounds. Ramon Munoz for Concorde. Laroka the toss in. And here's Concorde with some forward momentum and just slipping out of the way. Wortham a little bit ahead of himself for that ball. Nerves, anxiousness, whatever you'd like to call it, that may be setting in for Concorde, but they've seen Laroka really control this play. And here we have a long pass, and Sheely has to boot it away himself. Across the midfield line. Nice sliding keep in by Concorde, but that does end up out of bounds and back to Laroka. This is the Laroka team. They've advanced to the knockout rounds of the last two U.S. Youth Soccer Region 4 championships. Concorde in possession again, back over midfield. Far side, another sliding tackle. Still coming up with it is Wortham. He tumbles over. And Concorde talking with the official, looking for maybe a call there. No card, but it looks like we will. We will get a corner kick from the Fire here. Straight shot into the goal, no one home. And we've reached the end of the first half. Laroka in control so far of this match, but only a 1-0 lead. You're watching the U.S. Youth Soccer National League Tournament on Torbo Sports Network. Welcome back to Wilson, North Carolina on the Torbo Sports Network. My name is Jeff Childs, and we're giving you live coverage this morning of the U.S. Youth Soccer National League Tournament. These are two of the 80 best along the nation. Laroka South in the red and white, and the black and gray adorns the Concorde Fire. Well, after our first half of play, Laroka with only a 1-0 lead. Definitely, as casual observers would contend, they've carried the large majority of the play so far this morning as we prepare for our kickoff from midfield. My name is Jeff Childs. Glad to bring you again this special event on the Torbo Sports Network as the second half gets underway. Laroka in control. Short pass over the middle of the field. Chandra Priest for that opportunity, and along the far side of the field, Laroka, and a nice move there by Jared Gonzalez, and he'll boot one just wide of the far post. Gonzalez, the nice inside-out move, getting his defender to commit to one side and getting a shot at the goal, not maybe the best opportunity. Partially obstructed, but the ball did sail wide, and now the Laroka keeper to send this one back in. Myers boots a long sailing ball past midfield, does find a teammate. Kevin Chair shoved. And a physical match, both teams stomping and grinding away in that mud, trying to keep traction. Beautiful weather out today, with the playing surface clearly a bit muddled for both squads. Azai Mendoza playing it for Laroka. Laroka now in control, switching sides. They're shooting at this goal to my right. Concorde going to the goal to my left. Mark Hansen in a bit of a collision there, but he'll find himself still in control. Back to Azai Mendoza. Mendoza the opportunity. But Sheely, the Concorde keeper, sliding out again, and that nearly lying sort of prone there horizontal in the field to make the save. Concorde, both teammates playing sort of catch with it back there. Concorde in control, and now they have it going on the offensive. That try rejected back, and now here's Laroka. Laroka in the open field. These have teammates. Gonzalez to play it. And Augustin Asensio keeping possession in the corner. Buried in the corner, here's Augustine. Augustine keeping possession. Back to Kevin Chair. And there's a shot. Score and a goal. Odd angle, but that one just catches the inside corner. And Laroka pads their lead 2-0 here, just a few minutes into the second half. We'll see who they give credit to that goal. And Azai Mendoza, the forward for Laroka, let that shot go. And not the best angle, but it does catch the far post and the far pocket of the goal. And now Laroka, a 2-0 lead. Still plenty of time to go in this one. But with the way they've played, both their defenders and their forwards, even a 2-0 deficit may be tough for Concorde to overcome. Concorde in their own end. That ball trickling out of bounds, and it will pass over to Laroka. Again, we'd like to thank you for joining us this morning for our first of 4 broadcasts here on field number 4. The U.S. Youth Soccer National League Series comprised of the top 80 boys teams in the nation. For more information, visit usyouthsoccer.org. Augustin Asensio fending off his defender, but will go the other way, and now Concorde taking possession, trying to get out of their own end. Laroka, a very consistent club, coached by Celso Santos. Terrence Edwards, the assistant, as that ball bounces in on the Concorde keeper. He'll look to boot it away, but a little too far. Floats just out of bounds. That pass intended for Ramon Munoz. We spoke a bit about Laroka South earlier. 9-0-0. They finish on top of the Desert Premier Division standings in the U.S. Youth Soccer Far West Regional League. This is a team, a lot of speed and skill, and they've shown the way they move the ball, not just offensively, but defensively, really putting down the clamps and thwarting any offensive attempt from Concorde this morning. And it's been a lot of play and a lot of tight quarters. And here's Dawson Gideon. And large amount of contact. Gideon along the near side, and he makes a lot of contact, and the ball goes over to Laroka. Booted by Henriquez. Looking for Derek Childs here far side. Concorde trying to keep the ball in the offensive end, trying to generate something to get back in this match. And here's Laroka. Laroka with a chance. Just slid off. Here's an open goal. It just deflected past the left post. Chandrich Preach appeared to be in the clear, but just off the side of his foot, missing the left post by a few feet. Laroka's keeper gets all of his foot into that one. That one well past the midfield stripe. And now Laroka trying to get out, but back to Concorde. Here's an opportunity. Inside out move by Gideon. Gideon still in possession of it. Gets around another defender. He'll shoot. Just slides wide of the far right post. And Gideon, a glorious opportunity. Falling by the wayside out of bounds. Boy, it looked like he had a great chance there. Nice moves on 2 Laroka defenders, and just not enough force on that shot. But it does give Concorde the corner kick. Here's a high pass, looking for the header. They get it, but right into the waiting arms. Jason Myers on that save for Laroka. Laroka booting it back. Nice passing play. Tried to get it to Augustine. A nice header in the pass back, but it goes back to the Fire. That one skips out of bounds, and now Concorde with another opportunity. Closing in on the 50-minute mark. We near the halfway point of the second half in the match. Laroka a 2-0 lead. Strong offensive play so far this morning, and defensively not allowing Concorde to get much of anything going, but here's a chance. And hitting Laroka's keeper, Jason Myers, in the chest, and now here's Laroka back the other way. Here's Augustine. Augustine near side of the ball trying to center that one, knocked away by Concorde. Concorde moving upfield, Daniel D'Souza. Here's D'Souza again, but just too far. Ramon Munoz looking for that pass, just missed his foot. The toss in by Laroka, but both teams stall as it goes out of bounds once again. And Sheely, the long boot, centering that one offensively here for Concorde, trying to set something up as that ball went out of bounds, and they'll toss it in. And another inbounds try, and that ball floats way out of bounds near the other field. This event, not an easy one to get to in the U.S. Youth Soccer National League. Getting to this point, both these teams talented, to the top 80 in the nation in the under 16 age bracket. And a leaping save had to be made by Laroka. And the Concorde keeper punts that one right over midfield, but Laroka taking possession now. Here's Augustine. Augustine gets it up. And they'll play it right back to their keeper to set up the attack the other way. Here's Concorde, and they've definitely stepped up their game here in the second half. Lots more play in the Laroka side of the field, but still unable to generate much of anything and really force Myers to make a tough save here. He's had a pretty easy day. That last shot, just catching it with his fingertips to keep it out as that ball goes out of bounds. And Concorde really unable to challenge him so far, and that's why our score remains 2-0. Mark Hansen tumbles down just over midfield. Here's Blake Cheek, he plays it in. Back to Cheek, he has to let his midfielder play it back. And some nice ball movement here by Concorde. Just tripped up, but they still maintain possession. Some of the best ball movement from Concorde Fire so far in this match. Azai Mendoza gets it over to Augustine here. Near side, here's Augustine. Augustine racing in, booting one off the chest of a Concorde defender. Laroka still has it here. Concorde still in danger. As Laroka been so good in their spacing and their placement. Right place and the right time offensively. Here's the right place and the right time maybe for Concorde, but that ball going high off the top of our tent, and Concorde will inbound. tongue-in-cheek, the inbounding players. A few subs come in and out for the Fire. Here's Wortham, one of the more solid players this morning for Concorde, but still just unable to get that last gasp, that last opportunity to make a play on the goal. Concorde's best chance came a few moments ago as a shot just so very close from falling in off the outstretched fingertips of the Laroka keeper. So here we sit, this match closing in its conclusion. Laroka still having the 2-0 lead. And they're looking for more here, and that chance knocked away the Concorde defender. A nice play to get in front of that one. In the 55th minute, here today for our first of 4 matches. The first 2, the under-16 age bracket in Wilson, Carolina. Thank you again for joining us. My name is Jeff Childs. You're watching the USYS Soccer National League on Torbo Sports Network. Russell Sheely, the goal kick. High arcing kick, gets to midfield. Setting it up for his mates. Ramon Munoz just picking it up, and a close play as the Laroka keeper Myers there's maybe even unaware at the last moment he had a Concorde Fire barreling in on him and had to pick that one up. Nice inside-out move by Munoz. But it goes right back to Laroka, and they've sort of stemmed the tide. A bit of a rally for Concorde trying to generate offense as they've carried play for the start of the second half, but now Laroka trying to find that surge and get back in front, maybe put this game away with a 3-0 lead. That ball bouncing in front of the goal. But Sheely boots it away. Kicked right back by Kevin Chair. Concorde will send it right back in. Referee signals a toss in. Couple of substitutions. Cristobal Zamorano coming in for Laroka. Chandrich Priest sits down for Laroka. Competitive, spirited opener to get us going here for our first of 4 matches here this Friday on the Torbo Sports Network. Field number 4 here at Gillette. Laroka getting the opportunity to inbound after some chippy play on the far side of the field. High inbounds comes to Concorde, and they have possession. Nigel Moe along the far side. Moe gets it taken away. Now Laroka with the opportunity, having numbers. Crossing midfield. Zamorano fighting for it. Can't come up with it. Back to Laroka. Here's Henriquez. Henriquez getting it up. And just out of the reach, Sheely, the keeper, trying to send the long field pass. But that's knocked away. And Laroka, the will and the work ethic here today. Superb ball movement. They've really been able to, their talent alone, keep this one out of reach for the Fire. Laroka kept it for a moment. Concorde kicks it back to midfield. Eric Olvera there into the game with a chance for Concorde. And Laroka lets it go right to their keeper, who will send it back the other way. 2-0 score here. Laroka in control as we get deeper and deeper into the second half, and time running out for Concorde to try to at least get on the board and get the momentum needed. Here we're in the 60th minute of this first match. Here's Wortham with it. Wortham trying to make something happen, still has it. Getting tripped and falling over and looking for a call, there is none. There's Laroka, intercepted Concorde. D'Souza, Daniel D'Souza loses control. Laroka the other way. Taylor Booth. Booth gets it over to Zay Mendoza. Mendoza tries the one there. That one intercepted. Concorde's coach calling for the diagonal pass. But Laroka finds itself in possession once again. And there's a high pass. That one knocked away in a battle for it. Both players tumbling over. Augustin Asensio with the contact. Thank you again for joining us. Glad to bring you this broadcast of this under-16 Blue Division matchup featuring the Concorde Fire out of Georgia and the Laroka South Premier Team out of Highland, Utah. Sheely has to track that one out of bounds and bring it back into play. Referees added whatever they deem necessary for the extra time. Short confab there between a few Laroka players. Shoelace needs to be tied, and we're set to go. Free kick by Mendoza, and actually will give it right back over. To Concorde. The goal kick from Concorde. Beautiful ball, gets it over midfield. And that ball falls out of bounds. Taylor Booth chasing after it, just couldn't quite keep it in. Jose Pizano Rodriguez coming in for Laroka South. As we said, a long way to go for some of these squads. And they're playing to earn a berth at the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships in Frisco, Texas next year. But long way to go still on their journey following this weekend. They'll continue league play in Orlando, Florida, or Las Vegas, Nevada. And so far, so good for Laroka South in the red and white, traveling all the way from Utah. Concorde, some nice passing, but you can just see the advantage, excuse me, Laroka South has right now. But they head one towards the goal, and Laroka's keeper, no problem, boots that one away. Anytime today we've really seen Concorde try to gain some momentum. Their ball movement, their passing just a little bit slower than Laroka South, who's been quick on the upkeep today. But there's a shot, and diving to make the save. Jason Myers for the red and white. Had to get down in the stomach, makes the save. Cristobal Zamorano passing, getting it back, little give and go, sort of trips up. But Augustine finds himself with it. On the far side here, here's Laroka South driving in. Step back move, but losing it. Azai Mendoza doing his best to keep it in play, but referees will whistle that one down. Sheely, the boot with his right foot, sends it far down the field, back to Laroka. Just entered the game, Jose Pizano Rodriguez with playing it there. Concorde, a long shot, and had to adjust and sort of corral that one. Laroka's defense and their keeper not wanting to take any chances here, nursing a 2-0 lead. We close in on minute 67 here in this first match. Laroka up 2-0. More substitutions for Laroka. Sebastian Van Thiel coming in. Augustine gets an arm around a shoulder, a pat on the back, and now a breather. He's been quite the player this morning for Laroka. Concorde's keeper sends another one far back, but it does find a teammate. And Concorde still in possession. Kicking it back here, Concorde, but they send it out of bounds. That'll hand the ball over to Laroka. Zamorano playing it. And referees allow more subs to enter. Samuel Watson enters the game for the Fire. Played in by Munoz. Munoz pass sails wide. That pass intended for Daniel D'Souza. D'Souza gives it back to Munoz. Munoz going to throw this one in with both hands. It's that one in to Wortham. Wortham, and a near mistake. Laroka South playing it back to their keeper, and just a few feet wide of the net. but they avoid disaster. Still 2-0. Myers trying to boot that one out of harm's way, but Concorde keeps it in. They have another opportunity here. Time becoming a factor, ticking away. Laroka still maintaining that 2-0 lead. And there's a long pass. That one connects. And getting that one over. And Laroka playing it now. They keep it inbounds. Here's Laroka now. Offensive side of the ball. That one falling just out of bounds. And the Laroka coaching staff calling for an offside call. They won't get it. Two to nothing is our score. We nearing the completion of our first match, the under-16 blue division between the Concorde Fire Elite and the Laroka South out of Utah. Played over by Jose Pisano Rodriguez near the near corner. Headed in by Isaac Edwards. Edwards gets it into Zamorano. Zamorano measuring the corner kick. Leaves it on the ground, but right to Laroka, and they score. Laroka up 3-0. Zamorano, the measured corner kick. And maybe Concorde expecting the high kick there, but he sent that one parallel to the ground. And Laroka now up 3-0. Looked like Jose Pisano Rodriguez will get credit for the goal. And we do have confirmation. Rodriguez picks up the marker, and now Laroka up 3-0. Very smart corner kick there by Laroka. Just a simple play along horizontal to the ground. Normally that one high arcing kick, maybe try to get a header off there, but that one right to the ground, and Concorde not expecting it, and now 3-0, and they find themselves in an even deeper hole. Augustine, Mendoza, and Rodriguez, the goal scorers. Laroka South attack that's been going all morning. And quite possibly could have cashed in on a few more opportunities, but they lead 3-0. And the way they've shut down the Concorde Fire so far this morning, that's been more than enough for this squad. That ball resting on the chest for a few seconds there. Laroka smart not to touch it with the hands. And a sliding kick. That one out of bounds, and a quick toss in by Concorde. As that ball sails out of bounds near our crane and camera there. Thankfully, no harm done. Still 3-0. Laroka here. Clock ticking down. Concorde trying to muster some semblance of offense. Here's Ramon Munoz. Wortham does the splits there, try to take in that pass that allows Laroka to control. Cristobal Zamorano had it for a moment there. Back to Rodriguez. And that long pass connects with no one, and Concorde given the opportunity to boot it out of bounds, but deflected, just kept in for a moment, but now here's Concorde on the attack. That pass deflected, finds its way over to Wortham, Laroka clearing. Here's Azai Mendoza, has one of the goals so far to give Laroka this 3-0 lead. Chipped off, right back, and the shot and the goal. Nifty give and go for Laroka. Cristobal Zamorano, the goal scorer, and now 4-0 as they salt this one away, firmly in control. And the oncoming speed, always a threat for Laroka. Just too much to handle so far this morning. Zamorano with a pass, got it right back. And a quick shot along the ground, no chance. And it's 4-0. The focus now for Laroka, of course, keeping that goose egg firmly on the Concorde side, not letting up a goal the way they've played defensively this morning. Concorde looking to do just that and get one on the scoreboard and safely into the outstretched hands of Myers. Concorde sends one right back in. Nestled between a few players there. Laroka finds it. Laroka again in the offensive, and there's a shot. Easy save. Warshili. Laroka killing clock, up 4-0. Sliding tackle, and Rodriguez and a host of his mates getting the opportunity at the free kick here. Simon Mendoza setting aside. There's a kick, and that one safely wide of the left post. Concorde boots it away here. Time ticking away, moving in on the 78th minute of this match, and it's 4-0 Laroka. They've been in control firmly the entire way. Defensively, not allowed Concorde to get any kind of traction, but here's a chance for Wortham. Wortham trying to break free in a slide tackle. Kevin Scheer. The nice defensive play to knock that one out of bounds. And right back out of bounds, and they'll throw it in all over again. Ramon Munoz throws this one in. Trying to get it to Wortham. He's locked in there in a tight battle, close quarters. But now back to Concorde. Hans Meyer tried to boot it in there, but Laroka sends it right back out. Intercepted by William Carter. Carter again, he'll take the shot. Too short, Laroka boots it away. Cristobal Zamorano sending it ahead. Here's another opportunity. Ramon Munoz pushed off as he barreled in on the Concorde goal. Sheely boots it ahead, tries to find Wortham. Wortham looking for it, he finds it. And a nice kick over his head, trying to regain control. Players tumbling all over on the ground. And it ends up in the hands of the Laroka keeper. Pass sent ahead. Laroka finding themselves another opportunity, trying to deke out his defender, but leaves it for his teammate. There's a shot and a kick save. Sheely sliding to his right, getting the feet there. That one off the side of the goal, and Sheely to throw in. And that ends our first match of the morning. Laroka defeats Concorde in impressive fashion 4-0 as they move on in the under 16 bracket. Well, 4-0 our score, and we'd like to thank you for watching our 10 a.m. broadcast this morning. Our next match kicking off at noon, coming up in just a little while.